super anti-corruption. They must spend money. And not all the monies will be visible to the corruption entity. The person who is doing contract that has to go and give money to somebody. So people will then have monies to be spending again at that level. Maybe if the corruption index is 50, now it is 20, but money will flow. And if it flows, everything will be flowing towards the dollar. And if the dollar is not looking too good, the pressure will be there. So they will still be rationing to those things. So if that's what I'm doing, I'll just, once I have, so I have some projects in Naira, make sure I provide for it. But then I still buy the dollar and say, look, every week buy so much and keep. For people like you, even if you buy and keep and things go haywire, you still have to buy the thing in dollar anyway. So you may not have made a Naira gain, but at least you bought the item for $5,000. You already have $5,000 on the in your hand. So even if the thing goes down, you still go back and buy 5,000 and buy the same number of units, which is replacement cost. It would be nice if you know, if you have a crystal ball, and then you can say, over the next 3 months, dollar is going to go to 380, so you buy now. And because we bought, at first I thought dollar can never exceed 300 in this country. When the thing got to 370, I said, yeah, keep buying, just buy. And I bought until 390. Then after 390, in like 2 days, then somebody say it's 220, it's 230. I say, Kai, I've spent all my money. So I said, okay, borrow money. Because there's also what they call average cost. Average cost. If I bought 390 and I can get at 220, I can balance it up. So I said, yeah, bank, give me another something million. But you know the funny thing, when I went to buy the 220, it's not available. Noise. Propaganda. You can't find the dollar. So I said, oh boy, where's the dollar? It's 380 that I have. But it's 220 in the paper. I said, okay, go and ask the newspaper to sell to you now. So we're carrying. But you see, we still got at 325, 330, and all that. So now it has stabilized. It's not as if it can't come down, it can't go up. It can. And so, but when we are businessmen, let's look at the substance of our business before we do that. For the issue of, one of the things, for some of you who also have some level of cash, I've seen banks do some very crazy things these days that you shouldn't get involved in it. They debit you on Tuesday for the bid. They debit you on Thursday for the bid. They come back and tell you that you have not been successful on Tuesday. They credit your account on Wednesday, and on Thursday they debit you again. And they've done it for us. I mean, we're not talking small money. We're talking hundreds of millions of naira every week. They credit you on Wednesday, Thursday morning, they debit you. Credit you on we were bidding for $1 million since August last year. We've only got 400,000. But the money is locked away permanently. No interest, no returns, nothing on it. So we had to say to those people, you know what? Stop this bidding. Stop this bidding. Even if I go to black market, you can't use the money to buy. Your business is suffering. You can't do anything. Prices are adjusting, yes. At the same time, you can't even have access to. And the bank will tell you that they don't want to use your OD for that thing. So you must have your own fresh cash to go and bid. It doesn't make sense anymore. But there are some banks that are still conscientious. Okay? Because this forum is not for us to be killing one bank and the other. We have to be shuffling. Because some banks, you go to them, they won't give you everything, but every week they drop like 4,000, 5,000, 60,000, and it's piling up 20,000, 50,000, 60,000. But the other one, you are looking for 1 million. We have not found the 1 million, so they give you 0. Every year, every month 0, every week 0. But this one says, okay, you're looking for 400,000. I can't give you, but I'll give you 20,000. I give you 15. I give you 18. In a short while, the man giving us 18,000 had piled up the package ready to remit. Meanwhile, the director general of big bank is still saying, $1 million. No. So what we have done is, so I'm going to address your issue of whether you can make advance payment or whether you can. First and foremost, for your transaction size, the cost of doing that will be too high for you. But you can actually do an advance payment. But if they don't have the dollar, they cannot make an advance payment for you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is possible on an LC to make an advance payment. I know because I'm an operations man from the bank, so I know that you can do an advance payment up to, I think, 50% of the LC can be paid up in advance before you even, at the point of establishing the LC, you can remit that. But they've not found the dollar for that LC. So which dollar are they going to remit for you? For some of you who have some cash, this is what we have done. We will go to the supplier and say, because we want you to supply for us, we are going to deposit this $50,000 with you. So anything you ship below that 50,000, you know that you already have your money. But ship it as if it is an LC. So we are bidding for the dollar. So they are piling up the dollar for me. But this guy can ship knowing that if the worst come to the worst, he will keep the money. Why am I doing that? I'm doing that for one reason. One, I want to make sure that I get the goods on time to sell. I want to also make sure that my real cost goes down. And my real cost is tied to the source of the dollar. So if I buy from the black market and I keep it as security with this guy, if I cannot pay, take this money. So I've effectively paid for the goods in my mind. And the next one is my next shipment. But rather than wait for that next shipment and be looking for the dollar again, knowing that they are going to be piling it up, I will start the next shipment now and then go to the bank. That means if you have Naira, or if the bank can let you use your position to do that. And then the bank will give you that. Once it is complete, they remit to this guy. If you don't need it anymore, please return my deposit to me. And then you can sell your deposit in the black market. But the guy has already collected his money from the official market. So that's if you need it, you say, okay, this one I'm paying now, ship on it and still keep my deposit. For transactions that are larger, you really don't need to do that deposit. You just need to give a guarantee from, if you have an account in it, but you are still exposing yourself to a risk. Otherwise, I would have just said, put that money there, and then on the next one, on the next one, on the next one, on the next one, you can be ventilating that stuff. Sometimes it's just the deposit that you need to put so that they can start the manufacturing, and then you can start bidding for this one. But just have it in mind that when this guy has finished his production, he wants his money. And we see today, we can't see tomorrow. You need to maintain credibility with these guys. Otherwise, when everything is calmed down, they will look at you as somebody without integrity, and they will have taken some of the benefits away from you. Caution, don't take any credit from anybody overseas. Don't. Because it's going to kill you. Like you said, 390 to 480 is because you have credit. So if the guy gives you the food on credit, you think that, look, let me just make a quick turnaround and return it. If it flips, you are dead. You will be looking for money to, and then you lose credibility. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is actually possible to do that. The supply of dollar improvement, dollar reversal, I've basically told you my view about that. I don't think that anybody should take any decision apart from store dollar for the next 3 months. If the government, now the oil is going up a little bit, the government coffers is looking like at $40, $43, but let us wait at, because they are going to spend a lot of money. This is the biggest Naira budget that they've had, 6 trillion. They want to spend a lot of money. They have to. Otherwise, all of us will die. They need to push money in the market so that the businesses, it trickles down. if they do that, and a lot of that money goes into the corruptized pockets, they will spend. And if they spend, the demand will be on the dollar. So you are going to see a situation where I will advise that let's watch it for 3-4 months minimum. If they start spending and the dollar is not going up, then you can just do whatever you want with your dollar. But if they start spending and the pressure is high, then keep acquiring more dollar. Okay. I don't think liquid in terms of what, the naira or the no. All the banks are very liquid. It's just that they are careful to give the money to somebody who will not pay back. And then they are also dealing with issues on dollars. And I've seen people sold. Does everyone understand the concept of forwards? Forwards. When you say you are selling something forward, like futures and forward, somebody will tell you, okay, I promise to give you $10 million 3 months, pay me this much now. And one of the banks actually offered me that and said, I promise to give you $5 million, $10 million in 3 months' time at 360, 370. And I felt, in fact, it was at 350. And I felt, are you crazy? And I didn't take it, but some people took it. So when that money got to 370, it looked like those guys had gotten a very good deal. But now that it's down to 320, well, 320 to 370, $5 million for Nigerian Unilever is nothing, because the guy is sitting with tons and tons of naira. All of them have naira. MTN has naira like mine. They can't even remit it abroad. If you look at Guarantee Trust allocation of the dollars that they use, 80% of the allocation is remittance back to home office, because they don't have time for, although I work in Guarantee Trust, they don't have time for small boys like us. So all of us should carry placard and say, Guarantee Trust, give it to small people too, So for the local manufacturers, there is going to be a demand, and it's going to be the reality of time. For some of you are in pharmaceuticals, what I've seen people do, we started a new business about 2 months ago. For some of you can speak Yoruba. Your name is Gabriel. I don't think I can speak Yoruba. You try. Do you want to give you O-level Yoruba and see whether you understand it? Eh? What is the meaning of wosi wosi? Eh? Oh, God bless you. Yeah, Yoruba, the way I'm looking at you. Eh? I started some wosi wosi business in even Yoruba nice name cannot say. Wosi wosi is like petty trading, small. So we started this wosi wosi business where we are distributing for Colgate Palmolive all over Lagos. An interesting thing about them, which you guys will look, is there's something they call contract manufacturing. Okay, they looked at the soap and the toothpaste and the whatever that they bring in, and they cannot compete with local production. And that's a fact of life. Even if you can compete, where is the dollar? So what some of them have done is to go to the local manufacturer and looked at the factory and said, look, can you do this for me? So rather than bringing these things in, I can manufacture locally under my brand name and sell. And that is big. So sometimes for you, I think that the general dispensation of everybody is not to think that you are too small in your own. For as long as there is something for those guys over there, if you can get a win-win situation and get some of these local manufacturers to actually make those brands, you are in money. Because of what use is you buying $2,000 thing from the man, and then you will make $500. But if you pay him royalties of $10,000, he would rather let you manufacture. One of the things that my wife does is to supply sugar and grains to the breweries, Cadbury and all that. And a big component of their use is sugar. And they were looking for an alternate to sugar. And there is what they call HMS, high maltose sucrose, which you guys will be using in your formulations. Now, those things were made from either corn or sorghum, whatever. So we actually went to a company in Nigeria to say, the future is people would like to have substitutes for sugar. You have a plant that is like 60% in that process. Can we invest in the 40% so you can produce this thing? And those guys said no, that they have enough money to do it. So we then partnered with them, and they did it to that level. Now they're selling 100% of all their output. In fact, Cadbury just said to me, give me all that you can produce. And so, I'm saying this to you because sometimes the things you can take advantage of don't come to you like you see it. They're like diamond in the rough. You need to be able to look at how you can take advantage of that. But clearly, agricultural area, even some of the pharmaceuticals, a lot of manufacturing is going to take place locally. Not induced by anything. It will take place locally. And if you can key into that now, one of the areas that people have not looked into is export. And there's a company, UK Trade and Investment. It's not a company, it's like, if you go there, they'll tell you how many people wants to export things like ginger. Even if you are not making money from that export, it gives you a source of foreign exchange that will give you an advantage over your peers. So you can do it on a trade by barter basis. You send ginger to them, they collect the dollar, you use the dollar to buy this, you bring it back, you still make your money. So you won't look at the final naira or kobo on that export. It's something that you can look at, and there are quite a few. And once you show that you want to do export, it means that you can borrow money at 9%. So if by the time you look at the pool and the chain, you will have made so much money in that chain that your pharmaceutical product will just be booming, and people won't understand why you are the only one that can scale up.
Start looking at things beyond the obvious in terms of pricing and so on. So if we put our minds to that, we might be able to also come up with some questions. My own question is this: with the fluctuating exchange rate, or not being sure of the exchange rate, I know you're not an accountant, but what kind of accounting should we at least talk to those who are in charge of your books in this day and age? What kind of in terms of the valuation given to your goods, in terms of even the depreciation rates? Because if, for instance, before you used to depreciate a car over 4 years, you know now that you are not going to sell that car in 4 years' time. So
the volatile, I want us just to look beyond the volatile Forex. The volatile Forex is affecting everybody: spare parts, operating cost, and co. So this is my question. For those of us doing business now, the cost of fuel is high. The rent is high. Cost of everything is high. I think he mentioned you need to be realistic. Sometimes you have to close a business. Therefore, for him maybe to look at things that all factors, because Forex is high, is affecting you. What should be the DNA of the new businessman now? Is it that he cuts costs, or is it that he changes? Because the volatile Forex, even people selling chewing gum now are saying dollar rate. And if you buy chewing gum and sneakers, you'll see. So my question therefore is, to the extent whether you are dealing with dollar or not, even buying fuel is high. What should our attitude now be?
Maybe some of the things that I've seen, there used to be a song, I don't know who sang it. He says, know when to hold on. Kenny Rogers. So know when to walk away and know when to run. What did he say? So you never count your money while sitting at the table. You count your money at home. It says, know when to run and know when to walk away, know when to run. You never count your money. When sitting at the table, there's plenty time for counting when the deal is done. So, can we close a business? The answer is yes. Should we close a business? It's inevitable that some businesses will have to close. I've seen some people, family business, they wanted to sell their business, their father's business. And I looked at their balance sheet because I restructure, I looked at their balance sheet and I said, you are better off now giving this business to somebody for free and walk away. Because next time you are going to run away from this business, and when you are running, there's no housekeeping. If there's fire now, you won't remember anything, you just run. No. It's a big name. You see, they kept talking about the old name of this business. And so they are completely outside reality. I've sold properties at 50% of what I bought them before. So there's an attitude, that there's an ego that we have to face. If you know, I have a friend who used to bring in wine. He wants to do business the proper way, but his competitors are the ones smuggling. So if you keep matching your price to a smuggler, it means that you are subsidizing, because I want to keep I don't want to go out. You are hoping for a good day that is not going to come. This microphone is very heavy.